Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites. How you feeling today? Hopefully everybody's feeling fine. Thank you, Steve, for kicking off the contributions. I appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you so much, Malika said, for my hot platter. Can I please have an extra slice of cornbread? You definitely can. And thank you so much. So today we're going to talk a little bit about Joe Smith and his wife and her having an OnlyFans. And let me just start out by saying this. I actually don't feel sorry for Joe. I don't feel sorry for him. You knew what she was before you got with her, when you got with her. She's been an adult entertainer. She was that. Before you met her, she was that when you met her. So you can't be completely surprised that she is who she is. She is who she is. She was doing it anyway. Okay? She was sucking down and ducking down and doing something strange for a piece of change when you met her. So she gonna keep doing that. She gonna keep doing that. The other thing, and I'm gonna let you hear the video because she did an interview with TMZ. The other thing, she aired out all his business. There are a lot of lessons to be learned here because neither of them are innocent. She's not innocent, and neither is he. They both have to take accountability for what they do and where they are with each other. Okay? Because he got with her. He chose her. He been with her. And you got to know that that's going to be problematic being with her. And he's not in the league anymore. He had a long career. He ended up a journeyman in the career. She mad about that. She thought she hit a lick with the NBA player. I'm going to read a little bit of an article to you. Over the course of his career, he amassed at least $61 million. When I did a search of his net worth now, his net worth is at $100,000. Okay. So he doesn't have any of that money. Okay. And so she's mad about that. 304 gonna get mad, especially when she thought she hit a lick. And when the lick when the lick ain't licking, that's why she was like, you know what? She lost any respect that she might have had for him, even a little small. She's done with that. She's not dealing with that. And she's doing whatever it is that she want to do. Actually, I'm not even going to put it all on her like she spent all his money. He spent his money. He just was not good with his own money. I'm going to read you the article. He wasn't good with his own money. Okay. He was mismanaging his own money before he got with her. So this is a dude that has not been smart with his opportunities. Okay, because even if you are a journeyman in the NBA or even in the NFL, if you're smart, that is enough money. That is more than enough money to set yourself up for something else, especially since you're probably not going to get those bigger contracts and things of that nature. You need to get somebody around you that you trust that's going to be able to advise you financially and things of that nature so that you don't make certain mistakes or you don't end up surrounding yourself with a bunch of people that's just out to get you because they see you as a mark and they see that you are uneducated financially about what to do with the money and things of that nature, and then people come around and then they just take. Okay, they scam you out of the money and they steal it from you, or they tell you different things, sell your dream about it and get the money and things of that nature. So
you don't pay attention to your wife, period. And he has a friend that
let
he's
me
been
stop this because I want y'all to hear it from the beginning. Okay, I want y'all to hear it from the beginning. Let me start that again.
The first question is, where's
How
Joe?
How are you guys doing?
Where's Joe?
he's pretty pissed off with me. So he's been I think he's at his sister's house. He's not talking to me right now. So yeah.
Keisha, how long ago, obviously we saw in the video that Joe's saying he had no idea that you had this account. How long is the account? Have you had the page?
I've had the page for at least over a year. It's on my Instagram and my LinkedIn, but that's what happens when you don't pay attention to your wife, period. And, he has a friend that he's been entertaining, and she decided that, she wants to really put a bigger, wedge in our relationship. So she went digging around my page and was like, oh, do you know that she has this? And I blew it from that. I mean, it's no secret Joe's financial issues,
Mm-hmm.
and I have always made a good life for myself, you know. Before I met Joe, I was living overseas in Europe, and I had established myself as a singer, and I came back here, thinking that with his persona and who he was, once we got together and I found out who he was, that it would only take off, other things. But, not everybody's hustle and drive are the same. And
so you hearing what she's saying. You hearing what she's saying. All right. This is a woman who live off of dudes off of tricks. Okay. This is a woman that live off of tricks. That's what she do. That is what she has always known to do. Okay. This is why you don't turn a hoe into a wife. Hoes use men. That is the whole thing of being a hoe. Hoes deal with tricks and johns. Okay. They know how to turn femininity on. They know how to talk. They know how to get a man's mind open and get his wallet open. That's the whole thing. They understand how to do that. That's called being a good hoe. She's a good hoe. All right? She's a good hoe. The trick is not supposed to fall in love with the hoe. but he did. All right? It's never love for a hoe. They'll tell you it's love. They'll act like it. You know, they'll give you the girlfriend experience. They'll give you the experience of, I'm going to be a woman and I'm going to do this and I can be a wife. And they are not capable of this. However, they're going to convince you, if they can, that they are indeed capable of turning their life around. They don't got a hoe if they don't want a hoe. You know, they just need somebody that's going to love them and take them out of that life so they don't have to be on survival mode and selling their body and all this other kind of stuff. This is what a hoe do. This is what hoes do. This is what hoes do. She's doing what a hoe do. I don't know why nobody's surprised. Once you realize the background of this woman, she doing what a hoe do. This is why I don't feel sorry for Joe. You met her as a hoe, as a whore. Okay? Then she tried to go legit with her little singing career. She looks like she can't sing. Okay? She tried to go legit. She tried to do something that wasn't on her back. Getting too long in the tooth for that. So let me try to do something else while I still got some type of little cute. I think I got a little voice or whatever she thinks she got. She was in Germany because she wasn't going to make it in the American market. She was in Germany doing the best she can, probably on ghetto gaggers. Who knows? Okay. And she was trying to do her little singing thing on the side. That's all that she did. Then when he met her, I guess he thought he didn't meet a hoe just because she was in Germany. Germany got hoes. It's hoes in different area codes. I don't know what y'all talk. What? It's hoes all over the world. It ain't no country or no culture you're going to be able to go into where it just ain't no hoes. It is hoes everywhere. They may operate a little differently. They may do things a little differently, but it is hoes everywhere you go. You got to be on the lookout for hoes. You can't just let a hoe finesse you. And that's what she did. She did. Yes, she disrespected her marriage, but for her, it's not a marriage. It's an arrangement. What I'm trying to get y'all to understand, she don't care nothing about all of that. Oh, it was a marriage. Because she didn't go into that with the traditional mindset. She went into it as a whore. You just gonna take care of me. Okay. And then when she realized, oh, you be in the NBA, I told you women don't know the difference. All she heard was NBA. So for them, that means millions of dollars. That means he's a big shot. That means he's gonna have this money. He's already enamored of me. I done already finessed him. She said what she said, but I thought it was gonna take off due to his persona and who he was in the States. That was the motivation for even talking to him more than a few minutes. Do you understand? Oh, this is a big trick. I'm gonna turn a big trick with him. A hoe will marry you in a minute. If you start talking like you gonna forever support her lifestyle, and she ain't just gotta be with everybody to get it, and you just gonna give it to her. Of course she gonna do that. She take easy street. She gonna take easy street. Her problem is that he wasn't who she thought he was or going to be. She said, when your drive and ambition is not the same. That is what she's talking about. He did not do the part of the trick that he was supposed to do. He was supposed to keep his money level up here so that she could always have the lifestyle. She done got mad because the money is low. He out of the league. He did not retain the money that he accumulated while he was in the league. Do you understand that? He did not make the proper financial plans in order to maintain $1 million lifestyle when he was no longer earning that money directly out of the NBA. Okay? She's angry with that. She's frustrated with that. Yeah, he made 100 million, but he don't have that. I'm gonna let it finish. I'm gonna get to super chats too. I'm telling y'all this from her perspective as a whore. This is how I'm talking. From her mindset as a legitimate whore, not just a woman that was sleeping around. No, a whore. Okay? An adult film. She's been doing adult content. She's back to doing adult content, things of that nature. She's a bona fide whore. She's thinking in a whore way. Not just, oh, she a hyena, one of these chicks. No. It's deeper than that. Please come with me into the rabbit hole. Okay? She is a whore. This woman is a whore. Okay? And I'm not even saying that to denigrate her, but she is what she is. And she told him who she was. So he did not go into this relationship not knowing that. This is why I don't feel sorry, because she did not hide this from him. She came very openly. This is who I am. She done got frustrated because the money is low, and she has simply gone back to what has always worked for her. It has always worked for her. She could do this when she couldn't do nothing else. She could always do it. A old hoe ain't nothing but a young hoe that done got older. She still think with that mentality. Now, not only do he have not the money that she want him to maintain, he has not maintained the financial level that she thought he was going to maintain. Okay? He did not do this. So therefore, and on top of it, she just talked about how he had some female friend, quote unquote. So he had another woman. And she was like, well, I had this OnlyFans up for a year and he didn't know it. It was on my LinkedIn and he not paying me no attention. This is the other thing that hoes like. You gotta pay them some attention, even in they whoredom. Even when you get a stable of hoes, they will compete with each other for attention of the Johns. Okay? And is she not getting that from what she says? Now, everything that she say, we kind of got to take with a grain of salt as well. I'm just coming from her mindset, not necessarily buying into everything that she's saying, because obviously, she's telling a fourth of the story. She's telling it from her perspective. She's not going to give us the parts that make her the bad guy. She's not going to give us the other part. She's going to say things that are degrading for him. And these chicks are always going to do that. So we're not going to be blind either way. I don't believe everything that I don't believe the story as she's telling it. There is some truth to what she's saying, but there's not the whole truth. She's telling it a warped version of what happened so that everybody can kind of get off her case. You understand? And try to quote unquote understand why she has an OnlyFans account. See, we have to think in more than one track when you're listening to these people. You can't just think one track. You got to think on several tracks. Okay? Not only is she speaking from a whore's mindset, she's also speaking with that I'm about to lie by omission. I'm about to turn stuff around. Just the way I phrase stuff is gonna have you thinking a certain particular way. That kind of thing. Okay.
And depression is a serious thing also. So, I've been just like, supporting and dealing and going through his trials and tribulations with him. I've started several businesses, I've been doing a lot. And I just figured out, I have a home in Cape Verde I'm trying not to lose, and a roof over here we're trying to maintain that we almost got kicked out of. So I just kicked in the drive and did what I had to do, and he won't do it. So I had to, and I'm sorry, you knew I was an adult video star when you met me. So if I would do anything for my own survival, then what makes you think that would change now? When I retired from the adult industry, I promised myself, if I don't sing, I don't eat. So
listen, she not lying. Not completely. She not completely lying. She not completely telling the truth either. The little tears and stuff, we can ice that. She not sad. Okay? She not sad about what she's doing. All right. So them little tears and all that kind of stuff, we can ice that type of stuff. Ain't nobody buying into them little tears, them little crocodile tears. She probably spritzed her face with a little water or something. Okay. Now, here is where she's telling the little bit of truth she's telling. This is where she's telling it. Do you know why else she's frustrated? I'm gonna get to these super chats, I promise you. You know why else she's frustrated? Because he making her be a wife. No, that is not what she signed up for. That is not what she signed up for. This woman is a whore. Listen, she did not sign up to be no wife. They don't have it in them to do that. She talking about, I just been trying to stick with him and do all this stuff. And she been doing what she know how to do in that situation. She does not have in her wifeliness. She's not a wife. So making her go through what she internalized as trials and tribulations, which is probably just the regular stuff that married people go through. She probably not talking about nothing no more deeper than married people stuff. Okay? Sometimes the money go, the money come, the up, the down, you know what I'm saying? The peaks and the valleys and stuff like that. You go through that in a marriage. It can come financially, it can come emotionally, it can come in a lot of different forms. But when you are a wife and a husband in a committed relationship and y'all committed to each other and y'all have made that commitment not only to each other but between you and the Most High, then you're going to go through things together. Life happens. You go through life together. Okay? She is not that. And just because he married her does not mean that she's going to become that. This is what we really mean when we say you can't turn a hoe into a wife. She can't do it. It's not only her body count. It's not only her lack of being able to bond with you. It's those things, but it is also the deeper mechanism. She cannot pull wife out of her because it's not in there. He want her to be a wife. She's not a wife. Just because you walked her down the aisle and you put a ring on her and had the audacity to be wearing white. Listen, she not no wife. She never gonna do it. She not built. If that man gets sick and she got to wipe his behind and stuff like that, he get that low sick. She ain't gonna do that. She gonna throw her hands in the air and say, no, I can't. She done already threw in the towel off some little money problems or whatever she perceive as money problems. She done already said, I tried to do little businesses, but she not no business woman. She not no business woman. She don't have that kind of acumen where she gonna build, you know what I'm saying, be on the grind with the business and stuff. She don't know how to do that. She don't know how to do that. That's why she got with what she thought was a meal ticket with Joe. You just take care of me. That's all. She never lose her whole mentality. She never lose that. That don't never stop. She can cool out for a minute, but she can cool out with the sex part of being a hoe. But there's more to being a hoe than the sex. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's in her mind. The whore is in here. The sex is just a manifestation of what's here. I keep telling y'all, for a woman to be a hoe, she having sex because she's a hoe. She's not a hoe because she having a lot of sex. Do you understand? She's having a lot of sex because she's a whore. Not the whore. She was that before she cracked her legs. I told you there's something broken in a woman that allow her to sleep with various men over and over and over and over and over. These men don't have no connection to her. They don't have no commitment to her. She don't got none to them. It's just sex for money. It's when you steep in the transaction that way, that the whore is in here. Whatever broke her before she started having sex, that's why she's a whore. Okay? Women just don't up and do that. I'm sorry. They don't. They break here first. That is why you seeing more hoes in society, because society breaks them young before they have the sex with the first man. Then they start seeking the sex to repair what is broken. The sex does not repair that. Whatever it was that broke foundationally inside of them as a woman, the sex and the validation and the attention, the sexual attention of men only acts as it's temporary. It's a temporary fix, but it is not a cure for what's wrong with her. And she may never be cured from what's wrong with her. That's why you have old hoes. Okay? You get old hoes from that. It may never cure. That's why at 52, she'll go back. But let me hit the street again. Because that's what I know. She don't got no business acumen. I do believe her when she says she tried to do other stuff. She probably did, but it didn't have no success rate. And what she's trying to tell everybody is that Joe is not a leader. Now, we don't know if that's true or not, because all the chicks say the men don't lead. So we don't know if that's real or not. We don't know if he's not a leader or she's not a good follower. The likelihood is that she's not a good follower. Okay? So according to her, and this is just according to her, she's trying to tell everybody that he does not take charge and set up. She's trying to tell everybody that he don't have system, order, and structure. Okay? There's no structure to him. So she's having to think of structure, but she's not good at that. Like most women who are not good with creating the structures. She don't know how to do that. Are y'all understanding where I'm coming from? because we gonna go on a break. But I need y'all to know where I'm coming from. I just want y'all to know that y'all are with me. So I'm gonna do a commercial break. I'm gonna come back and get to these super chats. And then we're gonna open the phone lines in just a little while. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hello, my Crimsonites and all of my supporters. I invite you to go and get your copy of my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, on sale now at crimsoncure.com. This is guaranteed to change your perspective and positively impact your life. So go ahead now to crimsoncure.com and get your copy today.
So you definitely want to go to crimsoncure.com, pick up your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery. I think I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta So go ahead and hit the likes. Let me get to these super chats. Thank you, Paul. So he need to stop all that whining. She still got his back, even though he was a client before he married her. She just holding his weak butt down. And I guarantee you that's how she sees it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Philip, for your contribution. Thank you, Quiet Storm. Said, pay attention to your wife, ma'am. You're not 12. Wait, let me rethink that last statement. Women always want attention. Ain't no such thing. We don't grow out of that. We don't, it don't matter how old we get. If we have a husband, we want him to pay us some attention. We don't grow out of that, sorry to say. Thank you, Norrin, for your contribution, sweetheart.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just want to thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you so much, Nora. Thank you, Miss Alma. I said when gold digging goes wrong, precisely. Did not turn out how she thought it was. Now she was just frustrated. Thank you, Dale, for your contribution, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Thank you to Theo and thank you to Sterling. Say hello, sis. Thank you both. And how y'all doing? Thank you so much. Well, B said she blew his mind and he overlooks who she is. A 304 will go back to their default setting when things get tough. Precisely. Thank you, Jerry. Said this is more proof how men today only love under conditions by modern. She was never there to be a wife, just extract resources. The well went dry. And it is exacerbated by the fact that she was a literal sex worker. You see what I'm saying? And thank you once again, Nora, sweetheart.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just want to thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you so much once again, Nora. Thank you, LA. Said it's no longer till death do us part, it's till death do us part, pretty much. Thank you to Renzo. So to understand a prostitute, whore, and a pimp John, people will have to study dark occultism and how energy is created to get rid of it. Yet, unfortunately, people won't, and the spreads via epigenetic inheritance. Yeah, people are gonna have to try to understand the dynamic. Thank you again, Jerry. So this is also a perfect example why her past matters and is an indicator of their future. Unhealed people are stuck no matter how they pretend. Precisely. Thank you, Bakish, for your super sticker, sweetheart. Excuse me. Thank you, Utah. So I need more understanding how women can't create structure. Sister Davis, you're a structured woman to me with your platform. I didn't create the structure. Thank you, Skinny Boy. So our sisters are capable of so much more. Why did they choose to throw away all of 2023? Women are not good at structure creation. There are exceptions to that rule. But it's because of the way we think. Men are better structure creators because you actually have to be a good problem solver to be a good system order and structure creator. Men can think analytically, they can think logically, and they can do so in spite of their in spite of any emotions. They can actually emotionally detach from something and then actually just do it according to logic, reason, and foresight. That's actually the key ingredients for structure creation. Women are not as good at that. You have to have more analytical thinking and more logic and reason thinking and good problem solving skills in order to be a good structure creator. Most women are not. We're emotional creatures. We don't even think like that. Our problem solving don't go the same way that men problem solving go. It just don't happen that way at all. So many of us, the majority of women, are not good at structure creation. This is why we didn't build civilizations and men did, because they're going to be able to problem solve in a lot of different ways. And we can't really do it like that. We can problem solve maybe one at a time, but not way in the future problems, things of that nature. The foresight is missing and all of that type of stuff. So it's not a knock on women. If you see structure in my channel, understand that a man has helped me with structure. Even now, my husband helps me with the structure of this channel. He helps me with making sure that things are done a certain way, cut the videos this way, do things a certain way, because if I don't have that guidance, I'll do things chaotically. And then if it's left up to me to do them chaotically, then we probably won't have a channel. I hope that clarified why women are not very good structure builders. Okay, I need to, because I'm going to open the lines in a little bit. I just want to pin it up. Okay, so we're going to let her finish this clip.
my music career wasn't popping here when I left Germany and I stayed here for him, I figured, I would, start a business. I started a puppy friend social club business, a dog sitting business. And then COVID happened and that screwed everything up. I have a moving company, that he actually works for me. Like he works for my moving company. I'm tired of being the one to figure shit out. So I figured it out the best way I know that can maximize the money that needs to come in, because I'm tired of living I'm tired of living minimal, it's not fair. And I don't understand how you could have had such a maximized life and be so content. This is ridiculous. But we've been together for almost 13 years, though. We've been together since 2012, like after his retirement. And it really wasn't a retirement that he wanted. It was a forced retirement because he just got locked out after the lockout in the 2011 lockout. You guys remember,
Right.
He just never got a new job. Nobody wanted him anymore. So, there was a depression, and I've been dealing with all of this stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm not sorry for what I'm doing. I'm just sorry that he can't understand that that wasn't a selfish decision. It was a decision that I made. I made an executive decision when my man wasn't taking the lead. I really love Joe. I love him. If he never speaks to me again, I still will do things to help him or whatever I can, because he's my family. He's like an intricate part of my life, and I just want the best for us. I wish he wanted that also. That's really where I'm at. I wish that he wanted the best for us, because he's not really wanting the best for himself. So I can't expect him to do for me what he can't do for himself, I guess. And that's why I just did what I had to do.
Have you drawn that line in the sand that you will continue doing OnlyFans?
Unless something else happens that, changes that, no, I'm going to continue my OnlyFans. I think as a couple and just him individually, he needs counseling to help find out how to re-find himself and find his new place in the world. It's really hard once you've had a major career. You were the #1 draft pick, and then everything ends. How do you deal with that? I don't want to be alone, but if that's what it has to be, that's what it has to be. But I don't think we'll have a divorce. I don't think so. I think he'll come around.
Yes, the first question.
Now, y'all heard what she said. And from her perspective, she telling the absolute truth. Now, we don't know if it's the truth or not. Obviously, she's airing him out. This is the other part of it that I wanted to talk to about women. Never air out your husband. Never air out your husband. She aired out his depression, right? Saying that when things went left with his career and he had locked out, he has not coped with that very well. He has not coped with losing things. You lived in such a high place financially, and now it's not there. And now you don't have the notoriety that you had before, and you don't have the money that you had before, and all of this other type of stuff. Then she's saying that there's some type of depression there. Now, maybe it is and maybe it ain't. But that's almost beyond the point. Point is, you're never supposed to air your husband out. You don't air your husband out. You don't tell the world that he's got depression issues. You don't tell the world that he's just going to come around as you do OnlyFans. You don't tell the world that he ain't got no money. You don't tell the world that he's not a leader. You don't tell the world that he worked for you and, he just never picked up the pieces of his life and all this type of stuff. Like, you never, that is another reason why you don't turn hoes into wives. Because they be like, look, if you ain't gonna be doing what you supposed to be doing, what we agreed that you were going to do, then all bets be off. When it come to a whore, all bets be off. When you're not doing what you think, what they think you should be doing, is to the level that they think that you should be doing it, all bets be off. They will air you out. Okay, they will air you all the way out. They will tell everybody all your problems. They will tell everybody all your business. They will humiliate you in front of folk and all kind of stuff. Well, if he is depressed, she don't care, because wouldn't this depress him even more? Wouldn't you be helping to dig him into a deeper ditch by publicly coming out and saying all of this stuff about him, to make the public look at him in a certain light, which is highly unfavorable? A highly unfavorable light. I'm gonna read this article, and matter of fact, we gonna open up the line. So ladies, if you got something you need to say, we can say it. All you have to do is click the link and you'll show up in the background. I'm gonna need to see you on camera, even if you don't want to be on camera in front of everybody. But in any case, you guys are free to hit the link. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna read this article to y'all. How former number one NBA pick Joe Smith blew through $61 million. I don't even know if y'all can see that. Hold on. Okay. The career of former top draft pick Joe Smith didn't quite turn out like most expected. Expectations are high as a top overall pick, and Joe Smith never lived up to them. Yes, he played 16 years in the NBA, and that's impressive. But the former collegiate All-American never made an All-Star team, never won an NBA title, never found a real home in the league, and simply never made the impact that some thought he would. Nevertheless, Joe still made approximately $61 million during his NBA career. Unfortunately, a string of bad decisions caused him to lose everything. After a successful career, I don't really want to read his high school stuff. We're going to go to the early days in the NBA. Joe Smith was the number one overall pick in the 95 NBA draft by the Golden State Warriors, and was taken ahead of future NBA All-Star Antonio McDyess, Jerry Stackhouse, Rasheed Wallace, and Kevin Garnett. Smith earned all rookie honors, averaging 15.3 points and 8.7 rebounds. His second season will ultimately prove to be the best of his career, with averages of 18.7 points and 8.5 rebounds. However, he expressed a desire to go back to the East Coast and was traded to the 76ers in his third year, closing out the 97-98 season in Philadelphia before signing with the Timberwolves ahead of the 98-99. Smith played well alongside fellow draftee Kevin Garnett, but trouble came following the 99-2000 season. It was revealed that Joe Smith had signed for less than market value so that the Timberwolves general manager Kevin McHale could leave salary cap room open to make more short-term deals to improve the team. So basically, this was like, this is not allowed in the NBA, trying to circumvent the salary cap, essentially. So anyway, Smith had signed a number of one-year deals worth less than $3 million each, but was promised a multi-million-dollar extension later on, a contract that could have actually been worth more than $86 million. and a contract that could have allowed Minnesota to exceed the salary cap. However, NBA Commissioner David Stern caught on to what was happening, and Smith's contract was voided, as were his bird rights. Joe Smith was once again on the move. After leaving the Timberwolves, Joe Smith bounced around the NBA for the next decade. After Minnesota, he signed with the Pistons, and then he headed back to Timberwolves for 2 seasons. From there, he played for the Milwaukee Bucks, the Nuggets, the Sixers, and for Sixers for a second time, the Bulls, the Cavs, the Thunder, the Cavs for a second time, the Hawks, the Nets, and the Lakers, before finally calling it a career in 2011. In total, Joe Smith played for 12 different NBA franchises, tying him with 3 others for the most in league history. In 1,030 career NBA games, Joe Smith has averaged 10.9 points and 6.4 rebounds. Now, the money. In 16 seasons, Joe made approximately $61 million. Unfortunately, when he came into the NBA at just 20, he never learned how to properly manage money, and things just spiraled from there. Jumping from team to team didn't help him, as Smith thought he needed to buy a new home everywhere he went. That's buying 12 houses, which he did with straight cash. He also purchased numerous luxury cars and claims that his ex-girlfriend, loving hip-hop star Moniece, took $100,000 from him. He had made an attempt at a new career in the NBA, even once considered a candidate for a player development role with the Suns, but didn't get the role and offered private coaching lessons, which wasn't bringing in much money. Joe Smith appeared on CNBC's Back in the Game, a show hosted by former MLB star Alex Rodriguez that helps former athletes who are struggling with money, and said that he had less than $3,000 in his bank account and owed more than $157,000. A lot of people think once you sign a contract, you're an automatic millionaire, but it doesn't work like that. Nobody really explained that and broke that down to me. Out of that $3 million, Uncle Sam is going to take, he does take half. If you're not smart with your money, you will pay half in taxes. Uncle Sam is going to take probably 1.5 million of that. That was just something I had to learn. Once I got traded, it was always tough to unload those homes. I was always losing money. Unfortunately, stories like that of Joe Smith happen far too often. Now, I wanted to read that article to you for the purpose of letting you know that this is how a whole man thinks. If he was not maintaining that money, which he probably did not, it don't sound like he maintained it, she gonna be upset, and then she's gonna do what hoes do. And she's gonna go back out into those streets, and she's gonna try to make that money like she used to make it. She used to be able to go through and toot it up and spread it out and bust it open and get, and money come from that. You cannot marry these women thinking that just because you married them, that they are all of a sudden going to become wife material for you. They do not do it. Sex workers, women who work transactionally in the field of adult work and whoredom, do not understand wife stuff. And they're not going to do it either. It frustrates them. It angers them. And they become even more chaotic than what they already are, which that's a whole different conversation. I see you in the back, sweetheart. I'm going to get to you in just a second. As a matter of fact, turn your camera on just so I can see you. And then we'll be ready to have our little talk. But let me get to the super chats. Thank you, Miss 39 Dina. for your contribution, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mogul Man. So that's why our community can't function without that structure. Precisely. Thank you, Utah. So your topics and the information you bring and insight is structural to me. That's why we love your platform. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Paul. Said can't see anyone else's messages. I can see everybody's messages. I don't know. Maybe you have to refresh or something. Thank you, Steve. Says doesn't sound like you need a big glass of honey and lemon tea with mint leaves and ginger. I do. Thank you, Nora, for your contribution, sweetheart.
Thank you for supporting me on my show. Okay. I just wanna thank you for helping me on my show. All right.
Thank you so much, Common Man. 80 says she said her man, but not the man she chose. See how these BS women use words to get the sympathy they wanted. Incredible. And see, for a woman like her, and ain't no man like that. And even if there is, she's still gonna be a hoe here. He gonna have a hard time with her too. You see what I'm saying? That's why pimps pimp hoes, because they know she's not gonna change. So you might as well benefit out of what she's gonna do anyway, because she's gonna do it anyway. Thank you, Olufemi, for your super stick. I appreciate you. Okay, I see you in the back. Were you able to get your camera turned on, Elijah? Okay, thank you so much. If you don't want to be on camera the whole time, you don't have to. How are you today,
Hey,
Mr.
love.
Elijah?
Hey, love. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Yes, ma'am. I'm a psychologist and an NBA scout, trainer, and agent.
Okay.
So,
So you've
and
seen this type of stuff before.
you see it all the time. The problem is in the Black community, since there are no men, there's no fathers. And since there's no fathers, there's no manhood training. So you got these athletes with a 12th grade or the 12-year-old mentality with hundreds of millions of dollars at their disposal. So you got a kid in a candy store, and we were, when you don't have a father, then you don't have anybody to teach you money management. And Jews are on top of the world because they start teaching money management at the dinner table at 6 years old. So it's not a new concept to them. And as an agent, the first thing that I tell a client is, hey, this, like you said so well, the IRS is going to take 50% because you're in that tax bracket. And the next thing I tell them is that, hey, this money has to last you 50 years because Walmart does not pay this kind of money. Church's Chicken and McDonald's don't pay this kind of money. So this money has to last you 50 years. So if you get a $50 million contract, the IRS is gonna charge you 25 million of it. So 30 million of it is left, and you divide that over 50 years, you're probably looking at $300,000 a year. But since we've never been taught finance, then we think we can just go out and spend willy-nilly and recklessly, and that's nowhere near the case.
No, it's not. And a lot of us don't have a lot of we don't grow up with financial literacy. This I
Exactly.
agree with. But at some point after adulthood, and especially if we have the potential or we find ourselves in a situation where money is there, right? more money than we've ever had before in our lives, or more money than we probably ever gonna have afterwards, then it becomes your responsibility to gain financial literacy at that
But
point,
but
because
the,
you're
but the
essentially still an employee if
right,
you're working for the NBA or the NFL. You just are extremely highly paid. So even then, you're going to have to figure out, well, what can I do? Because all of these sports, they have a limited shelf life.
right,
Anything can happen. You can have a prosperous career, but at some point you're going to have to retire. You may
right,
get injured and no one picks you back up, or you weren't as good as you thought you were and nobody drafts you, or you have to ride the bench, which is considerably less money.
right.
Any of those things are a possibility. So if you want to maximize, especially if you're not going to be one of those guys that get the super contract, then you need to maximize, because everybody's not going to get that 50-60 million dollar contract. Everybody's not going to get that. That's for the elite players. So you got a whole other players that are on the bench, that are backups, the second string guys and stuff like that. They're making a decent amount of money. It's nothing to sneeze at, but they are also needing to be smart with the money that they make, because at some point you're not going to be able to come to this game. You're not going to be able to, you're going to get too old for this. And so, but after this is over, you don't want to go back to wherever it was you came back before, because if you've been living a certain way for 5, 6, 10 years, you get used to it. So you don't want to go
You don't want to
backwards.
drop your lifestyle.
You want to go forward.
Right. And
So
an old man told me, he said it best. He said, anybody can be a good catch dog, but the secret in life is to be a good keep dog. It's not what you catch, it's what you keep. And the problem is when you hit a lick with a stick and hit a good amount of money and a nice lick, your mentality switches and you're no longer hungry, you're full mentally. And when you're full mentally, then you don't want to study investments. You don't want to study on how to keep the money. You don't want to study on financial instruments. You become complacent. You become mentally complacent and mentally lazy, and you think that you convince yourself you can buy yourself out of any situation. And that's the catch-22 with the big contract.
Exactly. So I want to thank you for coming up, Mr. Elijah, and giving us some of your time and speaking with us today, especially from an area of expertise. So I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetie.
Okay. I ain't got nobody else in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I cover the last of these super chats, and then this is the last super chat. Said, thank you, Common Man. Said, if you're in business, i.e. LLC, you will owe at maximum 15% to the IRS. But if you just pay direct taxes to the IRS, you'll pay as much as 50%. And the least 25%. Yep, he should have filed LLC. Exactly. You got to minimize. You got to go ahead and play the game with them. It is definitely a game. So you're going to have to play a game with them. But in any case, since there's no one here, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Everybody jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, it's the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.